friends. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about the theory of the amplitude modulated wave and how this amplitude modulated wave we can represent mathematically. So if we see the expression for the amplitude modulated wave, then it is given by V is equal to Vc into 1 plus Ma sine omega mt into sine omega ct. Remember, whatever my amplitude modulated wave is there, this is a modulated wave, and we can represent this modulated wave with this expression. And here if we see, then there are two frequencies, omega m is present. So where is my omega m? So if we take this envelope of the signal, then this is representing a omega m. And another frequency is there, that is the carrier frequency. So inside this modulated wave, whatever the frequency we have, that is a carrier wave. So in this way, the modulated wave contains the two different frequencies. One is very low frequency, that is my modulating wave, and another is very high frequency, that is a carrier wave omega c. Now if we expand this expression, then you will find that two more frequencies are also present in this expression. So let us expand this, then we can write here V is equal to Vc. Now Vc will be multiplied with 1 as well as it is multiplied with sine omega ct. So my first term will be a Vc sine omega ct. Then the second term, Vc is multiplied with this Ma sine omega mt and this sine omega ct. So we have a Ma into Vc sine omega ct into sine omega mt. Simply we have expand this expression. Now here in this expression, if I will multiply by 2 and divide by 2, so I will get here, if I will multiply with this 2 and Ma is here, then it is divided by 2, so there will not be any change in my expression. Now what we can do, here the 2 sine omega ct sine omega mt is there, and that thing we can expand with the help of a trigonometric function. So already you know that sine A into sine B, 2 sine A sine B is given by cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. So here we will use this formula for expanding this. Then my modulated wave is written as Vc sine omega ct plus 2Ma it is Ma into Vc divided by 2. Remember, Ma into Vc divided by 2 into bracket. Now we use this identity. So it is cos. In our case, A means what? It is omega c, and B means it is omega n. So here we have omega c minus omega n into t minus cos omega c plus omega n into t. And finally, if I will write, then this is Vc sine omega ct plus Ma Vc by 2 cos omega c minus omega n into t minus ma vc by 2 cos omega c plus omega n into t. So you can see that after the expansion of the modulated wave, we have three different terms. The first term is Vc sin omega ct. My second term is cos omega c minus omega n, and the third term is cos omega c plus omega n. Here, whatever the first term we have, Vc sin omega ct, simply it is representing your original carrier wave. Remember, because the frequency is omega c. So this term is representing a carrier wave. That is the frequency is fc and the amplitude of this carrier wave is Vc. Remember. Then if you look at the second term, then here the frequency is omega c minus omega n, and this frequency is lower than the carrier frequency, and therefore this is known as a lower sideband frequency of the modulated wave. Lower sideband frequency. In short, it is also known as LSB. And what is the frequency of the LSB? So you can say it is Fc minus Fn. What is the amplitude of the sideband frequency? So it is given by Ma Vc by 2, Ma Vc by 2. This is the amplitude of the lower sideband frequency. And if we see the third term, then it has a frequency Fc plus Fn. This frequency is higher than the carrier frequency, so it is called a upper sideband frequency. Remember, this is a upper sideband frequency, and in short it is known as USB. Remember, this USB is different than the USB which you are using in the computer. So the frequency of the USB is Fc plus Fn. And what is the amplitude? Again you will find the amplitude is Ma Vc by 2. So Ma Vc by 2. So here if you do this kind of the analysis, then you will find the modulated wave is not containing only the carrier frequency. It contains two more frequencies, that is Fc plus Fc minus Fn as well as the Fc plus Fn. So if you do analysis, then you will find the Fc minus Fn is also present and Fc plus Fn is also present. So during this modulation process, the two sideband frequencies are generated and amplitude of this sideband frequency is identical, Ma Vc by 2. Now what is the importance of the sideband? So actually if we find out this, then whatever the information is there, this information is not carried by the carrier wave. The information is actually carried by the sideband frequency. That I will explain you later on. But now look at this. That whatever the expression we have, this expression we can also represent graphically. And that is known as a frequency spectrum for a modulated wave. So how to draw this frequency spectrum? Let us see. Here again I will write what is the expression for a modulated wave. So V is given as Vc sin omega ct plus Ma Vc by 2 into cos omega c minus omega n into t minus ma vc by 2 cos omega c plus omega n into t. So this expression we have to represent graphically, and that is known as a frequency spectrum. Remember. So for this we consider a one simple example, that let us say in this amplitude modulated wave my carrier frequency is a 1000 kilohertz. My modulating frequency is 1 kilohertz. Correct? Means the frequency of the LSB will be 1000 K minus 1 K, and that is 999 kilohertz. And if we calculate the frequency of the upper side band, it is 1000 K plus 1 K, it is 1001 kilohertz. So in this frequency spectrum, I have to represent the FC, then FM, then lower side band frequency and upper side band frequency. These four frequency we have to represent on a frequency spectrum. So what is a frequency spectrum? Frequency spectrum is a graph where we are representing a different frequency component with their amplitude, and the frequency will be on the x-axis here. Here if we draw, then the frequency will be on an x-axis like this. We can expand this, and the every frequency, amplitude of that frequency you have to represent vertically. So first of all, if we represent what is my lowest frequency, that is 1 kilohertz. Now remember, on the left hand side the lower frequency will be there, and then the frequencies go on increasing to a right hand side. So my modulating frequency is 1 kilohertz, and that we can represent here. And we write this, that is a FM. What is the amplitude of the FM? It is a VM. Remember. So we have represented this modulating signal on a frequency spectrum. In our case, what is this frequency? It is a 1 kilohertz. Okay. Now you have to represent a carrier frequency. Carrier frequency is represented, means it is a higher frequency. It is 1000 kilohertz. So the position of this carrier frequency will be somewhere here, and you can draw the line in this way. So this is my FC. The amplitude of this carrier frequency is greater than the amplitude of a modulating frequency. That's why the length of the arrow must be higher than the Vm, and this amplitude is nothing but it is Vc. So we have represented the carrier wave. Correct? Now two more frequency, that is the lower side band frequency. It is a 999 kilohertz. Remember, Fc is my 1000 kilohertz. Then naturally, this lower side band frequency will be on a left hand side of the carrier frequency, and that you can represent here. In this manner. So this is Fc minus Fm, and this is a LSB. Remember. What is the amplitude of the lower segment frequency? That already we know. It is MAVC by 2. So this amplitude we can write MAVC by 2. Then another frequency is USB, and that is the higher than the carrier frequency. So the position of the USB will be here. Remember. So this is FC plus FM, and it is my upper sideband frequency. Again, what is the amplitude? So it is MAVC by 2. MAVC by 2. So this is called a graphical representation of a modulated wave, and this frequency spectra is nothing but it is representing that which frequency components are present in a modulated wave. So here the carrier frequency is there, lower segment frequency is there, upper segment frequency is present with their different amplitude. So this is a graphical representation. Correct? Now here we will see what will be the bandwidth of the AM signal. Remember, and bandwidth in this case, the bandwidth means it is a maximum frequency minus minimum frequency. Remember, so here in the frequency spectrum, the maximum frequency is FC plus FM, and the minimum frequency in a modulated wave is FC minus FM. Remember, FM it is not a part of the AM wave. In AM wave, we have three frequencies: FC, FC minus FM, and FC plus FM. So if you take a difference of these two frequencies, that will give you the bandwidth of the modulated wave. So let us see how to calculate. The bandwidth is given by maximum frequency minus minimum frequency. Remember, we are calculating the bandwidth for a signal. It is not a bandwidth for an amplifier. So in this case, difference is maximum minus minimum. My maximum frequency is FC plus FM, and the minimum frequency is FC minus FM. Correct? And if we simplify, then FC will be cancelled. We have 2FM. So here the bandwidth depends on what is the modulating frequency. So if we are transmitting a frequency of 1 kilohertz, bandwidth will be a 2 kilohertz. If you are transmitting a 5 kilohertz, then the bandwidth will be a 10 kilohertz. So here the bandwidth of the system is not a constant quantity. It is changing with the modulating signal. And actually it is not a good. For any kind of a system, the bandwidth should remain constant. Now already you know that our information signal is from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Remember, so that frequency, modulating frequency will be from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. It means if I will calculate the bandwidth, it will be from a 40 Hz to 40 kilohertz. So here remember that 40 kilohertz is a large bandwidth. Large bandwidth means it is occupying a more space in a frequency spectrum. So if it will occupy more space, then the less number of the wave will be transmitted. And therefore, here we have to reduce the bandwidth. Now, remember that the 40 kilohertz bandwidth is not required. This is very large bandwidth. How we can reduce this? That for a normal conversation, remember that for a normal conversation, we are not using a frequency from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Whatever I am speaking and whatever you are also communicating with each other, at that time you are simply using a frequency. Remember, frequency between a 500 Hz to 700 Hz. Remember, I cannot communicate with a 2 kilohertz frequency or a 5 kilohertz frequency. It is a very large frequency. So if the frequency is very large, then your voice will be a very sharp. And if you have observed that the male voice and the female voice is different. Why? Because the male is using a frequency round about a 500 to 600 Hz for the communication. And the male and the female is normally using a higher frequency around about 700 to 800 Hz for the communication, and therefore the lady's voice is very sharp than the male voice. So what I mean to say is that normal conversation we are using a frequency from 500 to 700 and maximum it is a 1 kilohertz. So what is the required bandwidth in that case? Required bandwidth will be only 2 kilohertz. Correct? So here we have a kind of a international standard that whatever the AM transmitters are there worldwide, then the bandwidth of this transmitter should not be greater than a 5 kilohertz. Sorry. It should not be greater than 10 kilohertz. Remember, this is international standard. It means the maximum frequency which you can transmit, that will be a 5 kilohertz. You can transmit your information between a 20 Hz to 5 kilohertz. And whatever the information is more than 5 kilohertz will be filtered out by the transmitter. And here, remember, so if you see the sound quality in a amplitude modulated wave, then it will be poor. Remember why we have this kind of the restriction, that whenever the amplitude modulated wave or when the radio was established, at that time the radio was not used for the entertainment purpose. It was only used for transmitting the information, that is a news or some kind of a program. So for the news or the program, we do not require the higher frequency, that we can transfer with the help of a lower frequency up to a 1 kilohertz. And that's why at that time it was decided that the AM bandwidth of the AM transmitter should not be more than 10 kilohertz. So if it is a 20 kilohertz or 30 or 40 kilohertz like this, then the number of the station will reduce. That we are not discussing, that we will discuss when we have when we learn about a radio receiver. But just now you have to remember that AM transmitter, bandwidth of the AM transmitter is fixed, and that is a 10 kilohertz, and that's why we cannot transmit our information more than 5 kilohertz. So whatever the information is above the 5 kilohertz, it is filtered out, so the quality of the sound is going to be compromised. And that's why already you have experienced that if you listen a song on a AM band and if you listen the song on a FM band, then there is a wide difference in the quality of the sound. Because in a FM there is no restriction on the bandwidth. Bandwidth is almost 100 kilohertz. So all the information is transmitted in a FM. Here we have a restriction, and that is 10 kilohertz. Therefore, the quality of the sound is going to be compromised. Correct? Now let us see. Here we have drawn a frequency spectrum for only a single frequency that we transmit only 1 kilohertz. Correct? And that is a sinusoidal. But practically, whatever the information is there, this information is not a sine wave. This information is kind of a complex signal. Remember, it is a complex signal. Complex signal means what? It contains number of the frequency. Here you will find the F1 is present, F2 is present, F3 is present. Different frequency components are present with their different amplitude. Remember, the amplitude of this frequency are also not a constant quantity. So when all this frequency will be combined, then it is generating a signal which we call a complex signal. Okay? And if this complex signal is transmitted, then what will be a frequency spectrum? So let us see. Again, we have this horizontal line for representing the frequency, and we draw a vertical arrow for representing different frequency. So let us see. One of the frequency is F1, then another frequency is there, third frequency is there, fourth frequency is there. So we have this from frequency F1 to F2. This is my information. Remember, in this signal is represented in this way with the different frequency F1, F2, F3, F4. Maximum frequency is F2, minimum frequency is F1, and their amplitudes are also not same. They are different. So I can represent the modulating signal in this manner on a frequency spectrum. Then the carrier wave. Carrier wave will be represented here. Right? That is Fc. Now remember that this Fc is going to be modulated with the frequency F1. Here, the F1 is going to be interact with the Fc, and it will produce the two side bands, that is Fc minus F1 and Fc plus F1. So that thing you can represent in this way. So here we have a Fc minus F1 and Fc plus F1. So this is Fc plus F1 is there and Fc minus F1 is there. Then another frequency component is here, that is let us say it is a F3. So this is also interact with the Fc. So it will produce a two sideband frequency, that is Fc minus F3 and Fc plus F3. So here it will represent, then it will be like this. Correct? Then the third frequency will be also modulated with a carrier frequency Fc and produce two more sideband frequency here and here. Same way that whatever my maximum frequency is f2, it is also going to be modulated with this correct. So you can say this is fc plus f2 and this is a fc minus f2. So what is significant here? What is important? Important thing is that where is my information? My information is this. Remember, this is the information. Now, where is the information after the modulation? Information is here and the information is also here. Correct? So, this information is now switched over to a upper sideband frequency as well as the lower sideband. Remember, here the carrier wave doesn't have any information. So, what is the significance of the sideband? What is the importance of the sideband? That the sideband is carrying the information. Carrier wave is not carrying the information. That's why if the number of the sidebands will be more in a modulated wave, then more and more information is going to be transferred or transmitted through this modulated wave. Here in case of the frequency modulation, you will find that the infinite number of the sidebands are produced. So that signal is very rich in information. Here we have a kind of a limitation. So remember that sideband frequency are very important for carrying the information. Now in this case, if you calculate what is the bandwidth, then the bandwidth we can write as a maximum frequency is fc plus f2 and the minimum frequency is fc minus f2. Correct? And again you will find that this is equal to 2f2. So in a modulating signal, whatever the maximum frequency we have, that is representing that is determining the bandwidth of a modulated wave, and it is given by 2f2. Correct? So here whatever the lower frequency, let us say lower frequency is 100 Hz, then another frequency is 500 Hz, then we have a 2 kHz. These are the frequency present in a complex signal. But if I want to calculate the bandwidth, I don't have to consider the 100 Hz and 500 Hz. What is the maximum frequency? That is a 2 kHz. So in that case, the bandwidth will be a 2 into 2 kHz. So it will be a 4 kHz. Remember. So in this way, you can calculate the bandwidth of the modulated wave. But the thing is that you have to remember, in any case, the bandwidth of the modulated wave should not be greater than 10 kHz. That is the limitation, you can say, in case of the amplitude modulation. Okay? Now, let us have one simple example. Here, you can write this example that an amplitude modulated voltage is represented by the expression V is equal to 5 into 1 plus 0.6 cos 6280 t into cos 2 pi 10 raised to 6 into t. You have to find out what is the modulation depth, what is the modulating frequency, what is the carrier frequency, what is the frequency of the ASB and USB, and the amplitude of the LSB and USB. So here this expression is given. Remember, expression is given to you, and this expression you can compare with the standard expression of your modulated wave. Then easily we can find out all these parameters. So what is the standard expression? Standard expression is V is equal to Vc 1 plus Na sin omega mt into sin omega ct. Correct? Then first of all, modulation depth. So if you see a 0.6 is here and the Na is here, if we compare this, then the modulation depth Na will be equal to a 0.6. Then the second thing, modulating frequency. Where is the modulating frequency? Omega m is there, and here in this case correspondingly we have 6280. So if you are comparing, then the omega n is equal to a 6280, and already you know that is a 2 pi fn equal to 6280, and you can calculate the frequency of a modulating wave, that is 6280 divided by 2 pi, and this comes out to be a 1 kilohertz. Means my modulating signal is 1 kilohertz. So this is very simple example. Then the carrier frequency. Carrier frequency is omega c. Omega c. And correspondingly here we have 2 pi into 10 raised to 6. And therefore you can calculate the carrier frequency is equal to 2 pi 10 raised to 6 divided by 2 pi. So 10 raised to 6 hertz. 10 raised to 6 hertz means here you can say it is a 1000 kilohertz. Remember, why I am converting into kilohertz? Because next is I have to calculate the frequency of LSB and USB. Now my modulating frequency is in order of kilohertz. So if I will write a carrier wave in terms of the kilohertz, then easily I can have a addition and subtraction. So whenever you are doing this addition and subtraction, that both the frequency must be in the same order, it must be in the same unit. Correct? That's why I am writing 1000 kilohertz. Okay. What is the next? Frequency of the LSB and USB. So that LSB will be equal to Fc minus Fm, that is 1000k minus 1k, it is 999 kilohertz. This is the frequency of a lower sideband. Then what is the frequency of the upper sideband? So Fc plus Fm and 1000k plus 1k, so this comes out to be 1001 kilohertz. This is a simple addition subtraction is there. So we are calculating modulating depth, modulating frequency, carrier frequency, frequency of the LSB and USB. Now amplitude of this true sideband frequency. Then here, now amplitude is given by, what is the formula? It is MA Vc by 2. Either you are calculating a amplitude for a upper sideband or for a lower sideband. In both the case, the amplitude is same. So MA Vc by 2. Already we know what is my modulation index. It is 0.6. What is Vc? So So you can compare this 5 and this formula VC. So the VC is equal to a 5 volt. Correct? So 0.6 into 5 divided by 2, and this will give you the amplitude of sideband. So it is a 1.5 volt. So in this way, whenever this kind of the example is given, just compare with the standard form of a amplitude modulated wave and find out the different parameters. Now let us see another example. So here we have a sinusoidal carrier frequency of a 1 gigahertz. So we can write that the Fc is equal to 1 megahertz, and the amplitude of this carrier wave is 100 volts. So Vc is equal to 100 volts. It is going to be modulated by another frequency, that is a 5 kilohertz. So this 5 kilohertz is my modulating frequency. Fm is equal to a 5 kilohertz. What is the modulation index? It is given that Ma is equal to a 50%, and I have to calculate the frequency and amplitude of the lower sideband and upper sideband. So what is my LSB and what is my USB, as well as what is the amplitude of a sideband frequency. So this is very simple. Already you know that the frequency of lower sideband is Fc minus Fn, and what is my Fc? It is a 1 megahertz. So remember, 1 megahertz minus 5 kilohertz, that subtraction is very difficult. Means that it is slightly difficult. So you have to convert this megahertz into a kilohertz. So you can write it is a 1000 kilohertz minus a modulating frequency is 5 kilohertz. So my lower sideband frequency will be 995 kilohertz. Correct? Then the upper sideband frequency, that is a USB. So we can have a 1000 USB, that is a Fc plus Fn, and 1000 kilohertz plus 5 kilohertz, so 1005 kilohertz, that is the frequency of upper sideband. Now you have to calculate the amplitude. So amplitude of the sideband frequency is given by Ma Vc by 2. So what is the modulation index? It is a 50%, means it is 0.5 multiplied by amplitude of the carrier wave, it is a 100 volt. So and then divide by 2. So it is comes out to be 0.5 divided by 2, 0.25, and multiplied by 100, so 25 volt. So this is the amplitude of a upper sideband frequency as well as the amplitude of the lower sideband frequency. Now in the next lecture, we will see the power relation in a modulated wave. So after the modulation, what is the total power of the wave and how much power is going to be consumed by the modulated wave, and we will also discuss an example related with a power.